And we are live, kind of an impromptu since I'm traveling out of town. I'm not at church tonight, and I thought I would try to reach out and talk to some of you guys this evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. Everything's going pretty good. Feeling kind of spunky. Not really. Kind of tired. But that always happens when I'm traveling. Hey, Doc, how are you doing? It may just be me and you tonight. Yeah, pine tea's good. Um, may just be me and you tonight because, like I said, I don't normally do a video on Sunday. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm taking all kinds of stuff just to help offset so I don't catch that stuff. Good job. I'm glad everybody is feeling better in your house. I talked to the hooch a little while ago, and she said that she is feeling a little bit better as well. Hey, prepping artist, how are you doing? No, I am not getting the crud because I can't afford to get the crud. So we'll leave it at that. But I am taking so many supplements and everything. Hey, surviving in Alabama. Glad you're doing here. I thought you might be at church. I'm at the hotel right now, so we didn't do church tonight, obviously. Hey, Marvin, what you up to, dude? Hope you are doing all right. What are you cooking tonight, Marvin? Yes, sir. Vitamin C and up my fruit intake, and I've got zinc, magnesium, B12, and Q-certain, which you know has you can't say the word, hydrochloroquine, which helps with the Cocoa Puffs. But that's what I'm taking. And I grabbed some echinacea too. Hey, Sandy, what you up to? Whitefish and shrimp. That sounds pretty dang good. I was going to grill some. Of course, I just didn't feel like it. And it was freaking cold up here. I was going to do cut some chicken breast into thin strips and wrap them and fry them in bacon. I thought that would be pretty good, but I didn't end up doing it. About to go to bed. You got to get up early. I understand. This won't be a very long live stream. I will tell you that. Because I'm probably going to lay down, take the rest of my vitamins and everything. Thank God for B12. So that is some good stuff. But what is happening with you guys? I do. Yeah. I'm a little tired. I got up early this morning, did a bunch of work on the computer, and then I went in and worked. And so I am back here. I don't do this often, but I had a craving for ice cream. And hey, Christy, hope you're doing okay. Hey, Broken Nomad. Yes, I'm old. Had a craving for ice cream, and I had to talk myself out of going up to Walmart and buying ice cream like I need ice cream. But I'll be home Friday, possibly. So you guys will have to put up with me every evening at 6 Central. Was that a gnat that flew by? I'm in my hotel room. Strawberry cheesecake ice cream. I like chocolate, and then I get a jar of peanut butter, chocolate and peanut butter. Sometimes you can find the good chocolate peanut butter mix. Um, but when you can't, you just get regular old chocolate ice cream and dip it in peanut butter. Hence, yeah, I was thinking we ought to call this thing Ice Cream Sunday because I was going to go get some dang ice cream. I may still go do it. May still call this ice cream. Yes, chocolate and peanut butter. Yep, you got to try it in ice cream. Just get you the cheapest, what is it, half pint, whatever. And you open it up and then you get the peanut butter. And so you dip the ice cream and you dip a little bit of peanut butter. Holy cow, that is some good stuff. That's good living right there. Yeah, I do look tired. Um, but everything's going pretty good. Used to make chocolate peanut butter shakes. Gosh, that sounds really good. And like I said, I hadn't even had dinner yet. Holy cow, we got 9 people on here. Hey, everybody. Cookie dough ice cream. Prepping artist says, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yep. That's some good stuff. One of the funky things I did years and years ago when I was younger, first real job I had. Hey, Redneck Prepper, what are you doing? Come on in, dude. Take your shoes off. I would buy a tube of chocolate chip cookie dough, and then I would go in the cooler. You have to have your receipt, so they don't think you're stealing. And I would go in there and I would eat like half a tube of that cookie dough ice cream or cookie dough. Holy cow, that is some good stuff. Well, while we're on it, favorite ice creams, guys, throw it out there. Redneck Prepper, what's your favorite ice cream when you eat it? I don't eat it often, but every now and then I get a hankering, and mine is usually chocolate and peanut butter. Vanilla? Dude, really, Doc? Okay. Chocolate chip. There you go. That is worthy. That's good stuff. One of the nice thing about chocolate chip, since we're talking about it's just us here, and back when I was Poe, I'm still Poe, but when I was a little kid, living with my mom and dad, you get some of the what was the name of the chocolate milk? Nestle Quick. You get some of that Nestle Quick. You pour it over the top of that vanilla ice cream, and it was magical. There you go. As well as some of that Mrs. Buttersworth. And you squirt it across the top, and it tastes kind of like butterscotch with peanut butter and chocolate syrup. Yes, Redneck Prepper. There you go. Anything with chocolate or fudge. Broken Nomad. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. That's some good stuff. Soft ice cream dipped in chocolate. Okay, now I'm going to have to go to Walmart. Soft ice cream cone dipped in chocolate. Do you guys remember the Dairy Queen? Do you have a Dairy Queen? Some people call it Dairy D, DEE. And you'd go and you'd get soft serve ice cream, and it'd be in the cone, and you'd pay 20 cents extra, and they would dip it in the ice cream and still have the little swirl on top of it. Man, that was some good stuff. Yes, sir. I apologize, prepping artist. Yes, now it's yep. You had a Dairy Queen a mile from your place in Texas. Waffle cone. Yes, sir. That's pretty good too. Oh, that is not a spot on the ceiling. That's a sprinkler head, just so you guys know. Dairy Queen's gotten expensive. I haven't been there in years and years and years. Dairy Queen here only has vanilla, puts all kinds of things in it. But okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Homemade vanilla ice cream with a banana, some Hershey's chocolate syrup on it, and whipped cream. Holy cow! Root beer float. What kind of root beer? While we're talking about this, like A&D or because that's critical. At one time, Dairy Queen was the largest around. Yeah, yes, sir. It was. Dairy Queen was cool. A&W. Yeah, did I say A&D? I'm sorry. Um, that's pretty good. Um, I don't know what else to talk about now. That's a fantastic at A&W course, unless you have a real dog, and suds around. That's pretty good. Doc Falcon, you'll be happy to know I ate some of that B&M bread. Couldn't find the beans. I still haven't found the beans yet. I'll have to order them off Amazon. Peanut butter parfait. That sounds good. That sounds good, Marvin. Back when I was a kid, we would go to Panama City Beach. We'd have to get a root beer float and a Coke float. Yep. Do you guys, okay, while we're talking about ice cream, do you guys remember purple cows? And bonus points to who can tell me what a purple cow is. Oh, good job, Broken Nomad. A&W here used to sell hamburgers and such. Went out of business about 10 years ago. Yeah, that's a dang shame. Okay, it was a gas station. Y'all ever ate at that Steak and Shake? I'm not sure about that place. I, I have hesitation when I see a place that sells steak and ice cream. That to me, that is, mm. Yes, vanilla and chocolate popsicles. Yep, those are good things. Bomb pops. You guys remember the bomb pops? Or the dreamsicles. How about those dreamsicles? You guys remember those orange ones that were tasty? It turns out I heard from a friend of mine they actually sell dreamsicle liquor in the state stores. I hadn't been in a state store in 100 years. But, oh gosh, yes, man. Dude, orange push ups. Yes, sir. The orange push ups or the bomb pops. The one that had the piece of gum in the end of it. I think is that right? Red, white, and blue. Because we're patriotic and we like to blow stuff up. There you go. America. Went to see an aunt. She always had the push-ups. Those are pretty good. We still buy those on occasion, and I just kind of nostalgic. I show them to the grandkids, and they're like, "Hey, what is this? Why you gotta do it?" I'm like, "Come on, guys, it ain't Go-Gurt." You know. You were a fave anyway. There you go. As long as you're the number one. Old-fashioned ice cream sandwich, not like the ones today. That's pretty good. What did they call those things? UFOs? It had the somebody brought a cat in here. Okay. Chocolate chip cookie, ice cream chocolate chip cookie, a big one. Big as a hamburger. How about them? You guys remember those? I was going to say something else, but the fact that somebody brought a cat into the hotel, it kind of distracted me. Would you bring a cat into a hotel on the Purple Cow? Marvin, you won. Yes, sir. Like a grape knee high with vanilla ice cream, and they called them Purple Cows. Do you guys remember the knee highs? I ain't that old. Come on now. Orange knee highs and the grape knee highs. Knee high was great. Yeah. Or do you remember what's his name from MASH? Radar from MASH. Drank grape knee highs. Used to get either frozen chocolate malt or blue or banana popsicle off the ice cream truck, depending on how much money I had. Yes, ma'am. I remember absolutely. And we were talking about chasing the bug, the mosquito sprayer guy. We used to ride around the block and chase the ice cream man like he stole money from us, and we would come up with our 60 cents or whatever it was, and I'd be riding Huffy, my Huffy bike. Yeah. Or I'd be riding the other one. What did they call? I can't remember what it was. The one with the big ape hangers and the banana seat, a runaway. I think that's what they called it. Are the rats that bad that you have to bring the cattle on? I don't know. Surviving in Alabama, it was unusual enough to be distracting because I was like, somebody really brought their cat? And like, strawberry knee high and gray. There you go. Yeah, it was. I mean, that was odd enough. It distracted me. Um, do you got that? Some of you, this might be local. What about Buffalo Rock, the ginger ale? You guys ever partook of that? Somebody's going to have scratch marks on them, though, Doc Falcon. That's all I'm saying. Um, I like them. Those were always pretty good. Pop rocks and soda. Yeah, you'll blow your stomach up. Isn't that what everybody's mom said? Don't do that. You'll blow your stomach up. I don't know how we got talking. Oh yeah. I was talking about ice cream. That's how we got talking on this. Um, but you know who don't like ice cream? Zombies. So it's okay because this is still prepping stuff. There you go. I had bought an ice cream maker, and we made ice cream a couple of times. And this was back when Hooch and I, yeah, Catwoman, we're just living together years and years ago. And we made ice cream with it a couple of times. And I have thought about buying an honest to goodness ice cream maker again. Moon Pie and RC Cola. Yes, sir. Yep. That was good stuff. And we would make, usually we made vanilla, or we made chocolate every now and then. And it was, you used to go buy the Hershey's chocolate milk in the cardboard containers, like the 1 gallon, and you'd pour that in there, about halfway through, and it'd make it all chocolatey. Good grief. That was pretty good stuff. And I have thought about doing that for the grandkids. Um, you take your pigeon. When I travel a lot, both camping and at hotels. You got a pigeon? I had thought about that. Y'all will think I'm odd. I thought about getting a raven or a crow. It fits my moods, I guess. Um, but I have actually thought about getting one. They live a very, very long time. Not as long as parrots. The Hooch's dad had a parrot, and it was a terrible, mean thing that tried to kill everyone. And it lived for like 30 years. There you go. One sweetened condensed milk and 3 orange crush until full makes a good sherbet. Really? Okay. When your dad, I'm reading, that was Redneck Prepper. That's really cool. I'll have to remember that. Christy says, Daddy, shut your eyes and think about what sounds good to eat. One time it was an RC Cola and a moon pie. There you go. I remember Granddaddy. My granddaddy, he was a very, I'll just have to do a whole video on that man. But he would say, come on, baby boy, let's walk down to the Piggly Wiggly. let's walk down to the pig and get us something, get some bread or milk or something. And it was like 3 miles round trip. So we'd walk. You couldn't get ice cream because it'd melt by the time you get back. But we'd walk down to the Piggly Wiggly in Childersburg, and we'd walk down there, and he would buy as a treat. He would buy a one like 6.5 ounce small bottle of Coca-Cola, and he would get some of those peanuts, and he would pour those peanuts in it. He said, "Have one, boy," and that would be the treat for walking all the way down with him and all the way back. And I usually end up carrying the groceries. Was raised in the South, but never had a moon pie till you were in your 40s. I understand. You still do that regularly. Coca-Cola and the peanuts, that's good stuff right there. It is, okay. Yes, absolutely, if you can still find them. Now, while we're, waxing nostalgic, I'd go fishing with Granddaddy, and he would open up that can of sardines, and we'd be fishing for catfish, and he'd hook a good thick sardine on there. Daddy called it dope. Yep. Actually, yeah, they were called dopes because, originally they had not a lot, but a small amount of cocaine in them. And right after they started the company, so if you wanted a Coke, you call it a dope. Go down, get us a dope. There you go. Yes, absolutely. That is correct, Christy. I remember that. But Granddaddy would hook a couple of sardines on there and fold them over and hook them again. And he would drop it out there. A yoo-hoo on Saturday morning. That's pretty good. I hadn't had a yoo-hoo in 100 years, man. I'll have to look and see. Well, of course, I'm up here. I don't know if they even know what a yoo-hoo is. I'll have to look on them things. But Granddaddy'd toss them over, and then he'd get a fork, and then he'd start eating the sardines that he was fishing with, and it was like, ah. I never acquired the taste for sardines unless they're like King Oscars. I love them. I love them now. I don't really care for the stinky, but I'm not allowed to eat them in the house. I will say that it's kind of like smoking a cigar. I can smoke a cigar, but I got to smoke a cigar outside because they stink too. And I got to brush my teeth too because she won't let me kiss her either after the cigar or the sardines. They do. I did not know that. I was trying to think about some of the other ones. You remember? Okay, we were poor, broke, and hungry growing up. Do you guys remember the Czech colas? CHEK, and it had a check mark. Jane loves sardines. You're not crazy about them. I understand. But we would go and get this back when they first started with generic foods, because it would. I remember you go in and you'd buy crackers, and it'd be a white box with black lettering called crackers. Check, cold, ginger ale, etc. Yeah, they still make those things. And then I remember, like, even a little kid, I'd walk by with my mom and dad. They'd walk by the refrigerated section, the beer section, and it would be beer, a can of beer, even with the pop tabs though, and it would be a pull tab, and it would be a white can of beer with the word beer written across it in black. The honest to goodness generic stuff, and they had Czech soft drinks. No, you never see it anymore. Christy says she used to buy them at the Winn-Dixie. Your dad used to get that brand of beer. Yes, it was just a white can with a pull top, and it said beer and then it had the ingredients on the back of it, and that was generic. That was it. Um, and you would get like potato chips, the same thing, a white bag with like potato chips, plain or ruffled or rigid or what, ridges or whatever it was. It's crazy how things are. And now we got Aldi's. And Aldi's is like the uppity generic place. Although, from what I hear, they get kind of expensive now. Doc says he drank a few 7-Eleven beers. Yeah, they had their own beer back in the 70s. I did not know that. My dad made beer. Oh, that's pretty cool, Christy. Yeah, I guess part of the fermentation, it would, yeah, that's pretty cool. I have made, I've made wine, I've made shine, I've made mead, but I never made beer. Um, never did that. I've had friends who get all uppity and exotic into it and do all this, and when they offer you one, they want you to hold your finger out while you drink the beer, because this is, oh gosh, what was it? It was like this is a peanut butter, yeah, peanut butter beer, and I was like, it tastes like ass. I'm like, that's very nice, but if I had to drink that, I would not drink. Oh, that's great. Set it down. Hope one of the kids knock it over so you don't have to finish drinking it. You made 3 gallons last year. Good stuff. Good stuff. If you can, if you can make beer or wine, or if you can make shine, you can distill water. And if you can do all that stuff and distill water, then you can your own vegetables. It's a roundabout thing. You can also ferment uh, vegetables, and it goes back with the United States has a long history of fermentation and drinking spirits, and it's pretty good stuff. I'd rather drink Old Milwaukee. Do they still make that stuff? Old Milwaukee Baptist preacher came to eat at my grandparents', and the home brew on the back porch started blowing caps. See, there you go. That helped him to resist temptation because, if he was a Baptist preacher by himself, he wouldn't have went out there and drank it all. That's how you keep 2 Baptists from drinking your liquor. You invite 2 of them. I'm a Methodist, so that's the thing. Actually, I don't drink anymore, but Hams. Yeah, yeah, I remember Ham's beer. It had the bear on it. Do y'all guys remember the little cartoon bear? Or that was a long time ago. Jesus turned the water into wine, and man turned wine into shine. Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. You are indeed correct. From the land of the sky blue waters, Doc. Yeah, yeah, yes. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, okay, while we're talking, we went from ice cream to beers, which is fine. Do you guys remember what beer? I didn't know that was the all the to do in Smokey and the Bandit. Sponsor the Cubs. Okay. The beer they were driving across the country. Dang it, Doc. Yeah, I figured you would know that. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Coors. Yep. The banquet of beers. Yeah, yeah. That was it. Um, before it was legal east of the Mississippi. Yes, sir. That is indeed correct. Um, it wasn't an alcohol. Oh yeah, that's a cute movie. Um, it wasn't alcohol content. It was a it wasn't because of an increase in alcohol content. It was like not a publishing problem. It was just sort of an infringement, or they didn't pay the taxes to do it, something like that. Fiora Wheels, homemade yoo-hoo, 1 tablespoon of chocolate syrup, sugar, and a cup of hot water. Thank you very much, Flora. Flora Willis. Thank you. Okay. I'm wearing my bifocal contacts. Thank you very much, Flora. That is a good tip. Surviving in Alabama. I bought a can of Meister Brow at an antique store a couple of weeks ago. Oh my goodness. Meister Brow. I remember that. The trouble with it needed to stay cool. Surviving in Alabama said it was probably related to the taxes. Yeah. Or the old, gosh, what was it? Schlitz malt liquor. Goodness gracious. That was some terrible stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, that stuff is horrible. It still is, in my opinion. Yeah, surviving in Alabama, the bull. But bringing this around, most things do revolve around money somehow. Yes, ma'am, they sure do. That's why your county assessor loves you so much, because you're paying taxes on that property. Me too. My guy loves me. Has your taxes increased, guys? Mine doubled. Property taxes, 2023. Now, mind you, I'm in Alabama, so mine went from 200 to 400. But still, it freaking doubled. Excuse me. You don't pay any. Yes, sir. I understand. But holy cow, I was just utterly amazed. You argued yours down. Okay. That's good stuff. My guy, my tax guy, he came by and he looked at everything and he said, are those animal pens over there on the side of your property? We have it fenced in because we have the orchard on one side separate from the dogs. And I said, no, sir. No, those aren't animal pens. He said, what's that structure there? I said, it's an old greenhouse. He said, it's not an animal pen. I said, no, sir. I just built it really bad. And he looked at me. He said, uh-huh. And he said, I hear chickens. I said, all my neighbors have chickens. And he just looked at me and said, uh-huh. I said, just saying, dude. I didn't want him to go behind the privacy fence because he'd have seen 130 chickens. But you know what? Sometimes you have to do guerrilla prepping. Christy says hers went down. Oh, Doc says, be glad you're not in Florida. It's gone crazy down there. Yeah. One day at a time. Buddy of mine, you'll see him on here frequently. And he lives down that way. And he says his is gotten crazy. He's close to retirement. He's thinking about moving further up Alabama way. Christy says hers went down slightly. It don't have a house on the property, just camper right now. Good stuff, Christy. That's good. That'll help a whole bunch. Um, and honestly, I wouldn't mind paying higher taxes if I really knew that it went for something. I'm an anarchist. I do not care for any taxation. I think it's all theft. But if someone could convince me that my money that I paid in taxes would go to help Surviving in Alabama, Doc Falcon, and Christy if they needed something sometime, if they got down and out, I would pay. I would be happy to pay. Christy pays $211 and 8.4 acres. You go, girl. That's pretty good. That's dang good, Christy. Um, that's really good. I think I pay 400 ish. We're on about three acres. Taxes, yeah. I know, Doc. It won't happen, but I would. I go to Walmart and I buy, I don't know, Q-tips, glue, and mason jars. I get a receipt, and it says Darren Taylor bought Q-tips, mason jars, and whatever, and I can see where it goes. I want the government. I want a receipt for what I send them. Where's it going? Um, Tax assessor here lowered the increase because I told him I would run for his job and fire him. Dude, surviving in Alabama. Yes, sir. There you go. Your dad, Doc Falcon says his dad's farm from last year he was alive is Texas for $2,200. Yeah, yeah. Uh, and Christy, I applaud surviving in Alabama. Yes. Um, and I would vote for you twice, surviving in Alabama. Of course, we're not in the same county, but they don't have to know. They won't. It won't matter. If you can get a dead person to vote, I can vote twice from a different county. No, no, they don't. No, farmers don't get a break. Uh, not for nothing. Um, there's actually it's a growing concern because as the people who produce food across America, mostly in like the flyover states, but as people produce the food on these 1,000-acre farms and homesteads, as the parents die off, the children inherit the property. And these things have been, the assessment has changed on these things. And, you know, the county or the state comes out and say, oh my goodness, we're so sorry for your loss, Mr. X. And, we really regret everything. But the property's been reassessed and reassigned. And as to the death tax, you got to pay a tax for dying. That's actually legitimate. That you have to, the taxes on this 1,000 acres that's been reassessed, and so you owe $200,000 in taxes for this year. We need our money, and that drives a lot of small farmers out of business, but just for that reason, because they don't know really how to handle the estate. I'm reading Surviving in Alabama says mega businesses buy them up because of that. Absolutely. And then they subdivide them, and you have 500 homes in a small subdivision with HOAs, and then you've got the Walmart down the road and everything. Christie says in a small town in Alabama, there was a new building inspector who was trying to put all these rules on building a deck, etc. Yeah, yeah. They did something similar. They told me I couldn't attach a deck to my mobile home at our old property. because it was close to a flood zone. And if I did, I'd have to get flood insurance. So I built it freestanding. And he came out there and just mad. I looked at him and I said, there you go. I said, it's not attached. I said, this is a freestanding structure. I said, I just built a deck. And he looked at me and he examined it because I had about a finger's width between the deck and the mobile home. And he said, if you ever build anything else, I'm going to be out here all the time. I said, come on down, you can help me. That's why we moved out of Jefferson County, because it was just thieves. Thieves is what. I have a very dim view of Jefferson County, Alabama. If a missile was to hit Alabama, Jefferson County, it would be. Thank you, Christy. Yes, it would. I wouldn't miss it. I'm 70 miles. Blast zone would be negligible. I've already figured it. Yeah, and I don't know, it's silly because you can get a lot more income doing a lot of different things. And I understand the taxes well, the taxes could be used for roads and schools to a degree if they're managed correctly. But I don't, it's like the Birmingham Waterworks. They ran it in the ground, bankrupted it, and everything's all ruined and everything. And the water in Birmingham is terrible. You read the reports. Okay, here's something, guys. This bounces back. We're at 42 minutes, and we've just been rambling, talking about ice cream and old beer, which has been, I've enjoyed it. If lost my train of thought. Dang it. Okay, got it back. Waiting on those infrastructure projects with shovel-ready jobs from Obama. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm still waiting on my Obama insurance. Where's my Obamacare? Sounds like you don't care. Okay. If you have water that is provided to you from a county, a city, municipality, something like that, periodically they're going to offer to give you a water report. Take a look at it and see where you get your water from. For example, here in, not here, but in Centerville, Alabama, we get our water from a deep well, I think usually deep well number 4. And it lists everything as to, everything. Now, all of our water that comes in the property or in the house, we filter it. You got a Berkey, you come in and see the kitchen, you got a 4-gallon Berkey right there, 3.5, something like that. 4-gallon Berkey, swap the filters out regularly. Some people love Berkey, some people hate them. If you don't like Berkey, use a Royal Dalton, which is a Berkey, but it's Royal Dalton brand. Or if you don't like that, there's all kinds of different ones. Get a good water filtration system for your house. I don't sell them. I don't make nothing from it, especially if you got kids or grandkids. You need to have something, especially you don't need the fluoride. Of course, I'm going on a rant. You don't need the fluoride. You don't need the chlorine. As long as your water comes in, filter that crap out. Especially all the other stuff. Redneck Prepper says where I am up actually in Chattanooga right now, and from here I'll be heading to Etowah, Tennessee, which is another hour and a half further north. And this is about the most I travel anymore. And I'll do that. I'll be up there for 3 days. Hopefully I'll get home by Thursday or Friday. I would love to talk about water purification. We'll do that for tomorrow night. If if I'm not traveling between hotels. That would be a fantastic thing, guys. Make your notes, do your research. We have homework. What are you going to do to purify your water? Um, I'm not all hating on city water if you get it from, from like small town. Our water in Centerville, Alabama is pretty good. It really is. I've read the reports, and knowing where it comes from. It doesn't come from the Cahaba River, which is great because they do dump treated sewage in the Cahaba River. So it comes from a deep aquifer. That's great. But you still want to be able to purify it and filter it. The water here is okay, just don't drink it. There you go. Welcome to Flint, Michigan, guys. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything else. But yeah, that's a great. It's all pretty hard. I don't blame you, Doc. When I travel, I usually travel with a gallon or two of filtered water. I usually fill it up from the Berkey. Sometimes I stop at Food City or Walmart and get the 99-cent gallon of the filtered water, just because and if you don't, here's something I have learned: if you're traveling and you don't like the taste of the water, and you're in the hotel, get your ice bucket, fill it up, and let it melt, because they have filters on the ice machines. They don't have the filters on the water coming in. So that's just something. Absolutely. Yeah, reverse osmosis is fantastic. And a Berkey, that's a good system you have. The only other thing you could do to make it super duper is like a UV system, but you don't need it. I really don't think with reverse osmosis and a Berkey system. That's pretty good stuff, because you're taking care of a lot of threats right there. And this is something I love. All the gun shows and the gun channels, and everybody talks about all this and tactical high stuff. You got what kind of body armor you wearing, your chest rigs, how much ammo to load out. Okay, all that stuff's cool. Dysentery and diarrhea killed more people in the history of the world than all the bullets have ever done. Filters in the yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look behind them. You go in there with your bucket into that little nook. Look behind it. It's that long white PVC cylinder. That is a water filter, and they usually change them out pretty regularly because people will complain about it. Let the ice melt, and you got filtered water. Gave the grandkid absolutely, yeah, yeah. Now the downside, I will say, BC's not on here. BC Truck or BC Blade. I've been watching him. Shoot, I've been on YouTube for 11 years, and I was watching BC probably 4 years before that. He's been on here a long time, and he was talking about his Berkey, and he loved his Berkey. But one day, and he would do videos. He would go out to the bayou because he lived down in Louisiana. He'd go out to the bayou, get that old brackish brown water, watch his old videos, and he'd pour it in his Berkey, pour it in, fill it up, and it'd come out nice and clear. And I thought, holy cow. And I had to save up. This is back when me and the hooch was poor, broke, and hungry. I had to save up money to buy that thing because Berkeys aren't cheap, and the filters aren't cheap either. But, it is peace of mind. And I know my grandkids can come in and it's funny that they'll go up to the bottom of the Berkey, and it's like a big old coffee urn. You guys remember, you go to church and they have that big old coffee urn. You have that little flip top on a faucet, and they'll go in there, stand under it, and open their mouth and just drink. And I get a kick out of it because they're getting good, clean water. change the filter in your ice maker. Absolutely. Yes, Christy. Berkeys are good. Now, you can make your own 5-gallon bucket, buy the filters. I did a video a few years ago um, after BC's video because he got filters from Berkey and one of them had cracked. And so it was actually letting polluted water in. That's why he despises Berkey and uses, I can't remember the name of them, but I purchased those filters, and I've used them for a few years, and they work good. They're a lot cheaper than Berkey. But again, you can do Berkey, you can do Royal Dalton. Look them all up on Amazon. I don't make nothing, telling you about these things. But you can buy the filters and you can make it out of a 5-gallon bucket. And it works. I mean, it really does work. Maybe I'll do that on a video. But it really does work. And, if that's, you can also make one out of a 2-liter bottle, charcoal sand, gravel, something like that. And it works too. I would still boil it because you're not quite sure what you're getting. There used to be the time years ago we could go out and play and goof off and everything. And, you might get out on the river, you might get a little bit of water in your mouth or something like that, and it wouldn't be a problem. I've had Giardia, and they call that beaver fever. And it is violent, predictable diarrhea about every 15 minutes. And if you can't control it, there's a lot of health problems. That is kind of like dysentery light. You remember the Oregon Trail, the video game? You got dysentery, you died on the Oregon Trail. That right there will kill you dead. Dirty water, bad water, will kill you faster than a bullet. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You surely will. And I went to the doctor, and he said, "You got Giardia." And I was like, I don't know. I said, I got to have some. I got to have some relief. And I think they hooked me up to IVs right there. This was 96, something like that. And, I had an IV going, and they did 2 bags of lactated ringers. And they might have put something else in it just because I'd lost so much. And it was, if I'd had insurance, they would have admitted me, but I didn't have insurance at the time. So he did that and just pushed them. And I tell you what, you will learn to value your water. Hang on, I'm catching up. But yeah, Christy, you can make an easy filter. 5-gallon buckets aren't cheap anymore. You need 2 filters, or you need 2 5-gallon buckets, 2 filters, and then a spout, a little spout, maybe 80 or 90 bucks. And you could, the most expensive thing would be your filters. And I'll have to do a little bit of research. I can't remember. It's almost time. I usually buy them every time we pay taxes. It's just something I can remember. So it's time. We paid taxes this year. And but I've got the old boxes for the Berkey, and you'll be amazed at what they can filter out. Water is serious stuff. And if you don't have it, water's like electricity. If you ain't got it, and you got a little bit's a whole lot. Fits on a garden hose that filters out everything, about 30 bucks. Yes, sir. You can get that in the RV section at Walmart. I believe it is. They have some pretty good filters that filter out most of the crud and sediment. I don't know what micron they go down to. I want to say a coffee filter. Hang on. Got one here. A coffee filter This is a coffee pod, but it has a filter on it. A coffee filter is about 10 microns, and they have a much finer filtration system than 10 micron. And I don't know why I know about the 10 micron for coffee filter. I have built some of those. Uh, yeah, it does. It'll take out chlorine, and especially with kids, lead, um, agricultural runoff. At the old place we lived, we had a lot of mining. So I mean, you're talking about like all the different things they use to clean, industrial runoff, uh, that kind of stuff. And you want to have a rough day, go in your house, cut the water off at the street, and do your day. I would rather not have power than not have water. Um, Try it and see, and wait till somebody goes to the bathroom, and then you got to deal with that. One of the things we're fortunate of is we've got that above ground pool out in the backyard, and that's great. Not bragging, I'm just making a statement. Um, if you have gutters, put a barrel under them. You'll have water. And I, back in the days when I used to argue with trolls on YouTube, people would say, "Oh my God, you can't use water off of your roof because of the petroleum distillates that are in the water." Who cares? Who cares? If you don't have water, you're going to drink that, or you're going to drink water out of a creek, or you're going to drink water where the cow's drinking water. What do you want to drink? And people are going to say the birds are going to poop on it, and you'll get bird something. Filter it, boil it. I'd much rather drink the water off of my asphalt shingle roof than I would going out to the pasture and getting water from where the cow stands in it. And the cow pees and poops in that thing all day long. That's just me. If you don't have clean water, have three ways to do it. You got to. Christy says she has no well, all in water. Melted snow when it snowed and iced in for other animals. Yes, absolutely. It's a great way to do it. Scoop off the top 1 inch if you got a good layer of ice or snow. Scoop off, that first little bit just in case there's as it comes in, and stuff on the interior is supposed to be, in theory, more pure than the outside of the bottom layer. That's what I've read. Yeah, Christy says no yellow snow. There we go. We don't do that. But yes, Surviving in Alabama had a great suggestion about the water filter that you screw into your hose. I think ideally originally they were made for RVs. Buy that, stick it in your prepping closet, whatever you want to call it, and that is a lot better than what 90% of the people would have if the water goes out. Power goes out, you got water for a week. Why is that? Well, the pumps are run off of diesel or propane. In my area, it's propane or natural gas. I'm sorry, about the same. But you only got about a week, and then the water runs out. And so as they pump up to the water towers, the area is gravity fed. Now something happens, and you go, "Oh, you got a kabillion gallons of water." Well, no, everybody's going to forget to leave that faucet turned off, and then you're depleted. That's collect your rainwater, especially if you got a chicken house. Collect it off your chicken house. Water your chickens with it, and you got it. Worst comes to worst, you can filter all the water and purify it. That's not terrible hard. Surviving in Alabama says there's a dead beaver on the road about 300 yards from your house. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You know, what happened upstream? That's one of the biggest things. What happened upstream? You know, somebody change your oil and it run off into it. Yeah, obviously, you can detect a petroleum distillate because of that rainbow effect, but somebody spray Roundup, you know, the county sprays, and we're laughing about the bug guy. The bug guy comes by and sprays, and then there's all the exhaust. Yeah, you don't miss fresh water till you ain't got no fresh water, and then you got to have fresh water. They say 3 days. I tried and went. I think I went 18 hours without taking a drink one time back when I was younger, just to see if I could do it. About 18 hours, and it was thirst, finding water or opening up water was dominant. Um, Stuff to think about. And Christy said, Doc said, down in Florida, I lived in a house that had sulfur water for the year we lived there. Nobody ever got sick. Sulfur water, you also don't get infections because that's some stuff. The lake house that I used to have and lived in, that was a well, and it was on sulfur water. Your clothes smelled like sulfur when you washed them because I couldn't afford to, do all the other stuff. But holy cow, if you got a scratch or a cut, it never got infected because that's some powerful water. I tell you what, though, it made a dang good cup of coffee because it would stand up and come over to you. Christy says, I remember the sulfur water from when you lived down in Florida. Yes. Drink more water. Mom had a stroke. We're not drinking enough water. That's terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry, Christy. But yeah, absolutely, guys. By the time, and this is from what the professionals say, by the time you feel like you need to have a drink of water, you're already becoming dehydrated. So Shauna laughs at me because I'll have, I don't use the little bottles anymore. I got that damn Stanley cup she bought me. I mean, I love my Stanley cup. It's fantastic. Thank you, because she's probably lurking. I try to drink 3 or 4 of those a day. That's a lot of water. And yes, I pee like an old man because I never. I learned a long time ago working on industrial sites. First thing you do is find out who the straw boss is, and the second thing you do is you find out where the bathroom is. I drink 4 bottles a day. I don't know if it helps, but my kidneys are well flushed. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here's the thing: don't drink the 4 bottles. See how you feel. I wouldn't, Doc. I mean, I think whatever amount we say that we drink, we probably need to drink twice as much of good, clean water. It's it's your body's oil, pretty much. The blood. Well, I don't know about oil, but it regulates so much. Um, I don't guess the Broken Nomad's on here because I could get him to chime in on about the biological effects of dehydration and hydration. Oh, well, no, I don't think he's on here right now. He probably slipped off. Dang, we're over an hour. I'm so sorry, guys. I did not mean to keep rattling on. But yeah, we'll have to do another video about water because I mean it's critically important. This is one of the weird things that I do. We got cats, and sometimes they come in, sometimes they go out. So we got a litter box upstairs, and we got one down in the basement. Yes, sir. I have enjoyed it, and even the ice cream talk. So you get that tidy cat, whatever it is, in a 3.5 gallon. I rinse them out. They're not airtight, but I rinse them out, fill them up with water, set them out on the steps going down to the basement. And so I have 15 of them over the course of 2 years, and I just keep filling them up, and because I use them to irrigate the greenhouse. Yeah, and then back, when everything froze up, all my irrigation stuff for the greenhouse froze, busted. I got to fix it. So I was using those, carrying them up to do that. And at any one time, I've got 70 gallons of water right there. Would I drink out of it? Yeah, I would. I would filter it. I'd pour it through my Berkey first because it was full of tidy cat litter. But you can also use it to wash your hands. You can use it to flush your toilet if you're on a septic system, which we are. And they like it. Yeah, yeah. You get whatever. Uh, oh, the yellow rectangular buckets, dude. I'll have to come. Yeah, don't leave them out. I'll come take them from you. I steal them, sneaky like. Those rectangular buckets are pretty good and they're expensive. Look at them on Amazon. They're like $9 or $10. I don't know why. They're rectangular as opposed to round. But yeah, the thing about it, and no, I'll talk another hour if I keep on. Um, one more thing, if you have water, if you have the bug out bag and all that stuff, I think bug out. I'm a fanatical prepper. Do you like skibidi tolic? I don't know if I'm familiar with that. I'm not actually. Um, don't know what that is. Um, if you have a bug out bag, and I'm not a fan, I think they're kind of silly, and it's just for guys to do all the mental masturbation. If you have a bug out bag, have 3 ways to filter water. Have whatever whether you like the life straw, which I don't, or you like any of the others. There's like 5 or 6 different ones that are pretty good. If you want a Grail system, which is expensive, but they're great, they're really good. If you like any of the others, have that. Okay, do you have another way to filter it? Get some water purification tablets in the camping session at Walmart. $7 for a little bottle. There's 20 of them. It'll do 20 quarts of water. If it takes longer than that, you got a lot more problems than filtering your water. And you can always boil it, something like that. Thank you, Doc Falcon. I don't know what STYE. I don't know what Sty was talking about some kind of toilet. I don't know. You ought to try them. Surviving in Alabama, they're not bad. The original ones, you would you would take the life straw. It's actually about this long, about 10 or 11 inches long, and it's an army of toilets. Okay, thank you for taking care of that, Doc Falcon. But the thing is, you would like put it in the water, and you would sit over the water, and you would drink. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, somebody just trying to do something, and you would drink from it. Now, I've been bitten by copperheads 2 times in my life. I don't want to put my face close to where the snake is, and that's usually the water moccasin, the copperhead, whatever it is. I imagine my luck, I'd get bit by a turtle. I don't want to put my face down there by the water. And they have since done a lot more with it to where, you can attach a hose now, or you can do it to a bag, or it's like the squeeze. I can't remember the ones that I have. I got 3 or 4 of them. Every now and then you can catch them on sale at Walmart, and they're $20. Can't remember the name of it, other than it's called Squeeze. The downside to those is you have to be above freezing because they have ceramic filters. And if you've already used it and the ceramic filter has water in it and you go below freezing, there's potential for the filter to freeze and break. And so then you would be exposing yourself to, unfiltered water. Yes, savage audits. The couple of times I was bitten, I got bit, and I wasn't. I got bit on the leg and bit on the arm, and I was doing yard work pretty much. Cutting grass one time, bit me on the back of the calf. And the other one was my left calf and my right forearm got bit just out in the brush. We had a lot of snakes at the old property. They do excrete a musk, and if you know people who have been around them, yes. And I will say, yes, and I don't know if I know that when you pick up a snake, a non-venomous preferably, and hold it, it will poop and excrete all down your arm as a defense mechanism to help, to deter you from doing it. But yes, some people say that a lot of times you'll smell a goat smell. You could, you might want to check with somebody else. I could just be crazy, but it was like a goat-ish smell from like rattlesnakes and water moccasins. And some people say it's because of the bacteria they keep in their mouth. Not sure, a bunch of straws to filter water. Yeah, that's funny, redneck prepper. Yeah. Life straw. Yeah. But that's the only thing I don't like about the life straws. And I just don't put my face down that close to the water. But they have since come out with all kinds of different stuff now. They have the tube, and then they have like you scoop it up, put it in a little cup, and you pour it in a thing, and you squeeze it through the life straw. Those are cool. I just picked one that I liked a little better. And Christy says, sat down in a lawn chair, noticed one of your roosters looking at something. It was a big water moccasin. Absolutely. Chickens will kill and eat snakes. Well, they'll die too. Chickens will pretty much eat any kind of stuff. Oh, you're welcome, man. Email me if you want to. I can talk to you more at length about it, but feel free to. mayhemcountryliving@gmail.com. I think you already have my email address, and I'll be happy to go over some of the stuff. Heard that snakes will smell like cucumbers, so I was too freaked out to smell the snake. I don't know, Christy. I have no idea about the cucumber smell. I don't know. You were too freaked out to smell the snake. Yeah, I understand, because I have to say, the times I got bit and I noticed if I'd noticed a strong odor, it might have been coming from me. Just saying, might have pooped a little bit. You get bit by a snake, it's a wake up. Baby snakes, yes, sir. They will eat some baby snakes up. They surely will. Not many snakes around Tennessee. Really? Okay. That's pretty good stuff. But yeah, oh gosh, we're an hour and 15 minutes. Guys, I'm going to let you go. I know y'all got stuff to do. Not in your area. Good stuff. Don't get bit by a snake. That's my take home from that. Don't pick up snakes. I wasn't picking them up. Now, I have picked up a whole bunch of snakes. And you've seen the videos of me holding them, snatching the non-venomous ones up and then putting them in different part of the yard so the dogs or the cats or the chickens don't get them, and just running them along. But just don't play with them. And then, I try not to kill them unless I absolutely have to. And then I still try not to kill them. But thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out. And I appreciate you. And thank you for talking. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It's illegal to kill a snake in Tennessee. I did not know that. Redneck Prepper says he's had to catch king and black snakes having chickens. Yes, but didn't kill them because they eat poisonous ones. Absolutely. If you guys remember the video, I did the video of the snake, the king snake eating the other snake, and I actually caught him in the chicken house. Gosh, that was 6 or 7 years ago. You have to go back and look. You might be under snakes. But yeah. And that, just be careful around critters. We live in the domesticated parts of the world now. Most of us don't live in the wilds anymore. And it was their house before it was our house. Yeah, Doc, that was the old place. And don't mess with them. I've had snakes, and I pick them up and let the grandkids, and we talk about the snakes. This is a striped water band, or it's a water snake or something like that. Or it's that black snake with a green ring around its neck. Non-venomous ones. We talk about them and what they eat and what they do and how they're good. And we shouldn't kill them or shoot them or stick on jab stuff at them because they're out there doing their job. Let the snake up further down the property. You can't shoot whales from a moving car here. There's got to be a story behind that. In the state of Tennessee, in the great state of Tennessee, it is illegal to shoot a whale from a moving car. One day I'm going to go down to the Gulf Coast of Tennessee. I'm going to ride around in my car, and I'm going to see if I can't shoot a whale. That's a joke, because there ain't no coast in Tennessee. Got me to hold a king snake up at Chickasaw, but not for long. Hello. Yeah, they're cool. They're good. Just don't jack with them too much. You still get bit, and it can still give you a really good infection. Think those are hypodermic needles. And the venom that they do inject will kill little critters. Won't kill you. But dang, why do you want to get bit? We have some very silly blue laws here. There you go. In my town, it's illegal to have a cat outside without a leash. It was your great uncle's. You know what, Surviving Alabama, you need, instead of the tax assessor, you need to run for city council. I'd vote for you twice. I'm going to wrap it up, guys, because we're at 1 hour and 20 minutes now. If you like this kind of unstructured, irreverent stuff, let me know. And we'll try to do at least one of these a week to where. No, I've tried to bait one once. See what happened? There you go. And we'll try to do silly stuff on occasion, because I can only talk about so much of the 10 ways to prepare for the apocalypse or you will die. I try to put fun at it. I guess that's why I'm not popular. But thanks for coming by, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you. And if you guys have any questions, again, email me. If you have any thoughts or ideas, Doc, I think it was Doc that came up with water preps, water filtration. Send me an email. Harness and a leash for a cat. Yes, I know it. I know it. My daughter-in-law put a harness and a leash on one of the grandkids once. I'm like, what, what, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing, lady? God bless her. She's from West Blockton. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good evening. You guys be safe. Take care of you people. Take care of each other. See you.